Morning to one and all. This is Bharat Kumar from 19 MIS. I'm going to explain about the challenges based on urbanization, which is an topic given chosen by me on DA2. We remember the Civil War mainly. The war mainly expects more people to die. The reconstruction of the some of the urban areas and the bombs and many disasters make happens in that war. The recent wars, mainly in Russian, which basically meant so many urbanization areas make illegal on some of the areas. The rapid rise of urbanization is mainly the growth of cities on mainly the new inventions of some of the Bessemer's process like light bulb and telephones we use in mainly an area, which becomes an distance for any people to come and meet in an offline purpose. The transcontinental, the railroads are mainly growth of the industrial purpose is mainly affected by the urbanization people. The robber barons mainly they build the railroad on Carnegie's rock fillers, which may cause on urbanization people mainly on so many issues. The immigration on urbanization is mainly an large people to migrating from one place to another due to the personal issues or main public issues caused by them. Mainly to recent issues was 20 million Europeans between 1890 to 1920. They immigration due to their current cities of their own purpose and also in 2 lakh Chinese between 1870 to 1970. The reason included is mainly on poverty of peoples in their homelands and they miss their opportunities for their jobs and they convert from migration and their freedoms in their migration of their own land. If they migrate, they need to get a passport or any civilized ID cards and any purpose of papers to for the foreigners to stay in that place. Otherwise, they need to be in jail. The growth of urban populations is mainly on invention and technology advanced allowed cities to grow. Mainly, the factories may affect so many urbanization people on so many areas. The factories may get so many jobs, but the factories get their lands from illegal purposes. They get affected, so they are migrating from one place to another. Due to their financial issues, they need to give that lands to some of the land brokerages. They convert that land from from their properties to the factory owners, and their technologies get advanced in that places. The immigration mainly helped so many cities to develop by expanding the populations from 10 million to 54 million between 1870 to 1920. The rapid growth of cities forced people to deal with problems of some of the housing, sanitations, and transport, jobs, water, and sanitations. It's mainly on challenges based by the urbanization people and these cities. And nowadays, they are converting from rural areas to urban areas. The immigrants on cities mainly and United States, when their United States arrived with so many rules and regulations, the immigrations of the people cannot be converted from one place to another due to their passport visas and lot of issues. The factors mainly on these areas may have an unskilled laborers due to their cost and purpose of living. The immigrants in New York, they mainly migrate from twice per year due to their jobs or any financial issues. The half of the 18 major American cities can is migrated due to the personal reasons. The Americanization movement, mainly in this urbanization, was defected for the people who are staying in their rural places. They mainly need an social movement for these issues. The government and cities group to teach immigrant skills needed for citizenship, mainly an English literacy, history. Governments they take from citizen groups like etiquettes, cooking, etc. The immigrants mainly respond on their ethnic community development, like in political areas where their votes can be presented. They speak their own languages for their they need to transfer from one place to another, mainly on abandon their traditions. Mainly the migration in rural areas is mainly happened due to technology reduced number of laborers in these places and their escape racial violence in the south and some of the political oppressors the problems affected by the people, so they need to move from rural areas and for job reasons also they need to change from rural areas. In urban areas there is an housing lack of available families in tenements problems. The poor people need to get around mass transit such as subways and streetcars, like they need to change their development and the lack of pipes in the cities lead to some of the little or not running water and for these reasons so the urban peoples may mainly migrate from urban to rural. To reform this, some of the social gospel movement such as salvation through service to the poor and the settlement houses mainly on center to the provide assistance to the poor. Mainly it runs in the middle class educated women taught courses provided medical care on James Adams, the famous social gossips. Their movement was finally in Chicago was introduced, which is an famous social gospels movement and affected so many reforms to some of the social reforms. Mainly, Jacob's reasons was the migrants from Denmark was affected by the New York peoples. The police reporters, mainly in the slum, they were affected by the workers due to their migrations from people one place to another and that due to lack of traffic and air pollutions. Some of the photographers they reported in the New York papers like the Denmark peoples are migrated from slums and they're affected by the pollutions like in traffic and rural pollutions. The document mainly refers to the poor in tenements and famous works how the other half lives. The mainly the case study I refer that urban peoples from the Delhi mostly they're migrated from their slums due to their shortage of seats in their general educations and their technical educations and medical institutions. Mainly this phenomenon, the students gets affected and the parents now get migrated from one place to another. The main centers of these activities is mainly an congestion, vehicular and noise pollutions, and some of the water pollutions. It mainly the relationship between the urban wives on their responsibilities in their household responsibilities get affected, and the children's working mother develop a different psychology. They mostly miss their parents, get less attention, and are deprived of the childhood care. The parents' love and affection are mainly affected in their childhood. And apart from that, in India, Delhi is an capitalist and which is an capital of crimes. Children's the Hindustan Times was reported in the date 2693. The city stands as an testimony to the consequences of growth of the city. It is an unchecked for migrations. The flooded traffics on road, allowance to mushrooming slums, spurt in the accidents, crimes, the violence, and list is an endless way. The growth and destination of the populations is mainly as 3.6% annually migrated. And in the 10th year period, the census was taken so that the list is becoming increases from 3.6 to 6.1% from Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai. Growth was increased from the destiny respectively. The density of populations is geographically area in Delhi increased from 581 to 792 in their census was taken from 1991 to 2001. The major five cities are Mumbai, which is in 27,202. The largely attributed slums in their Mumbai areas. The migration mainly in Delhi consists 48, 40, and 32 in the years and 1981, 1991, and 2001 respectively. The other four major megacities are Chennai, Bangalore, Kolkata, etc. And the population mainly between 24% to 28% in 2001. The respect of their shares in their migrant population is totally 32% in the year 2001. The employment was the main reason for their migrations. Highest among the rest of the four mega cities were 16 to 27%. They increased their census in 2001 to 2011. And it is mainly an migration based on the people's thoughts and people's mindset, where their situations depends on them to migrate. But the own cities can develop accordingly by the government so that the migrations from the people can be avoided. So accordingly, respectively, the evidence from the developed and developing country should be taken from the government for according to the rural developments and the urban developments in such a way that mortality suggests in for government in such countries the urbanization initially leads to high mortality rates in the urban areas, largely due to the severe overcrowding combined with very bad sanitation conditions in the traffic and legal issues. Thank you.